Hi everybody, Carol here. Today I'm going to be doing another It's Impossible card. And it is not impossible, it's easy. I made a video of one a few days ago. You might want to go back and look at it. It is kind of an optical illusion because it is all one piece of paper, as you can see here. But the way you cut it and twist it makes it look as if how in the world could it be one piece of card? Now I'm making a 5x7 card, so I fold it down the middle landscape wise. I don't really fold it. I make a line. I draw a line. I just folded that one just to show you how it would work. On one side, one flap of a 7" by at this point it would be 2.5, because we've cut that 5" side and not cut it, but marked it halfway. There is only one cut, and I'm showing you right here. I just made some templates rather than get out a ruler and measure or go to the trimmer and cut. I'm just I put that little template down that shows where the 3.5 mark is. Then on the other flap I have what I call legs. I make mine 1 3/4 inch wide. You don't have to do that. You don't have to make a 5x7 card as far as that goes. But I'm drawing the lines for these little tabs or legs, and I'll go back later with some scissors and cut on those lines. And that is where you get your twist. So if you like that idea, just make yourself some little templates like that, or just cut them out and trace around them every time you make a card. Now I'm cutting the one flap 2.5x7 right in half at the 3.5 mark, and now I'm going to cut these others. I learned as I went along with this, I'm doing something different today. Vacation and travel time is just right around the corner. So I'm going with a vacation theme, a travel theme, fun, lighthearted card, and I'm making actually the sky on this top half. And you'll see, of course, but there when I get done. But here's the light blue. I thought I wanted it just to go this far, and I was going to do something else with that other little leg. As it turns out, I ended up making the whole side light blue, and I could have saved myself some trouble, but that's what happens. You learn, and as you go, or you change your mind, or you don't like the way something looks, so you change it. That's art for you and crafts for you. But so I'm going back and I'm cutting on these lines down to the middle. That is not folded. If you need to go back and erase those pencil lines, of course you can. Now when I cut it out, I realized that brown line, which represents sand or land, was not exactly down straight. So that is the beauty of Tombow repositionable glue. You can put it down, pull it up. Now here's what I'm going to do. Here's the trick. You turn that piece, you literally flip it, and then line up the edges and mark that fold. That's where you have the fold, just on that center piece where there are 3 pieces. Now the way I kind of describe it is I put my thumb on the bottom rectangle and my index finger behind the upper tab, and I push and pull kind of thing. Basically all you're doing is just twisting it back. But then I had to readjust that brown piece again, because I realized it wasn't totally straight and in line with that center piece there. So now I'm going to fold that center piece back forward, and of course you could do this on a scoreboard if you wanted to score it, but I don't know that it's necessary. Just up to you what kind of results you get. I'm mashing this flat again, and now it stands up. And that is why it is called the Impossible card, because you think, how did that work? I'm going to decorate the front part of the card, or the flap, and I'm making this one really festive and bright colors. I just took 2 different colors of cardstock. One of them I took it to the trimmer and just cut strips. Didn't measure anything, just cut. Some are fatter than others, some are, they're all different shapes and sizes. It doesn't really matter, and I'm lining them up. as it turned out, they weren't even exactly the length of the pink card, so I had to go back and trim some of the pink card. But I like this. I saw this at least from Sandi Genovese. I may have seen it, I don't know, it's been so many years ago. I may have seen it from someone else. I could have thought of it myself, but I don't think so. I know she did it. And I love the look as opposed to pattern paper because it has, I love pattern paper, but this has texture and you can make it any color you want to match your color scheme of your card. It's just a fun technique. And of course, you could do it with different things. Won't go into that now. But I'm putting on glue and then letting it dry. Now the stamps that I used are, that's the Stampabilities, that palm tree. The other one is the little camper is from Stampin' Up. It's loads of fun. This sun is from, it's a shore thing, S-H-O-R-E. So I'm speeding this up because I don't want it to be too long. And I stamped that camper in VersaFine Onyx black ink. It's a permanent ink. It's a good crisp black ink. The palm tree I'm doing with two different shades of green, a lighter and darker. And then I'm taking some markers to draw in those, cover up the trunk to stamp the trunk with, rather than try to mess with an ink pad. This one I even put some little dots in the middle to make them look maybe like coconuts or something. So I'll zoom it in close and you can see which one you like better. I actually will use one of the trees of one of the little sets there. But I'm just cutting it out very crudely, no big deal, because if there's any white left over, I take a blue colored pencil that kind of matches the sky color and just go around the edges and color in that white space. It's just easier. And then I'll cut out that camper. I wanted to show you what I do with my Prisma colors, and any colors would work. I made a rough little swatch there with all the colors and then numbers beside them, and then I slide my cardstock up and down to see which pencil color matches my cardstock best. Just makes life easier in my opinion. And so then here I am going around the edges of this palm tree with my blue. I'm going to color the little camper with kind of the colors that are in the card. You know, the pink, the apricot, the yellow. I even put yellow in the windows to represent light inside, but it's just a very simple coloring job. And that's what that looks like. And so now here we are. I'm going to flip it back to the original flat sheet that it is, so that it's a little easier to work with these pieces. But I've put glue on them. The glue is dried. Now it's repositionable if I need to move it around. I put down the little camper and I'm putting him on the ground. And there's our sky and our ground. And then the pine tree, the palm tree. And again, I can pull it up and put it back down because it's the glue will allow you to do that. I'm putting just a little bit of clouds up there just for a little more interest. Trying to figure out exactly where I want to put it. The trees needs to be inside that square if you're going to make this an interactive card where you could open and close it and open and close it. Now, those are the strips that I made with the different colored cardstock. And I'm just gluing that down for the bottom part, kind of the base. I was going to put that sun behind there. That was my idea, my plan, and I didn't like the way it looks. So it's a good thing to stamp extras. I'm always stamping extras. So I cut out another blue piece, another brown piece, and then cut out the sun, put it up there, and I like that a lot better. So flipping it back and forth, I'm not going to put a bar across it because I want it to be an interactive card. I had a little bit of this left over, made some more, and this is going to literally be the back of the card that will sit on the tabletop if you have it opened up and sitting out. But if somebody wants to pick it up and flip it back and forth, you don't just have a boring white sheet of paper. So as I said a while ago, I cut out one of those trees, another little strip of brown for the ground, gluing that on there, and Then I'm going to put another sun up there, and and I wanted to show you very quickly how I got that cloud. I thought, do I have a cloud stamp that I would like? And I remembered this one, the airplane with the cloud behind it. So I just cut out around it and around that airplane and kind of tweaked it a little bit and put it down. You can see where that came from, and then I just colored it a light blue so it wouldn't be a stark white cloud. So to flip it back, here we are again with the stripes going down. Show you how one more thing I'm going to do, and these are little bitty flowers that I just literally cut out very crudely and rudely with a pair of scissors. Very folk arty type. Didn't try to make it perfect. You could use a punch or a die if you wanted to. Then I cut out also by hand, some teeny tiny little centers to go on the stamps. Again, you could use a hole punch if you wanted to, but I was just kind of in the keeping it the same theme with the cutout circles, and it is so easy and so forgiving because it's just not that big a deal. But I'm using basically those same colors. I introduced at least one other color, a paler yellow, and then I just made a couple of leaves, cut them out quickly out of two different greens, and I'm just trying to decide which green I like better on which side, which is not that important. I drew a vein down the middle of the leaves, and there you go. They are done. So I'm just going to show you very, very quickly how I cut out some of those flowers. I mean, it is just nothing, but I did go around the edges with my neutral ink and my makeup sponge, and it does kind of, in my opinion, it makes them pop. It makes them look more finished, maybe more vintage. I don't know. I just think it really adds some dimension, and for that little bit of effort, I think it's worth the look. Now, I didn't have green paper right in front of me, so I thought very quickly I'll just show you how I cut out a leaf just quickly. They never look the same twice. It's just, and that's just fine. And so if you wanted to make some leaves, you could do that. So basically, you could call this card done. I put the little apricot colored square up in the upper left-hand corner. And then I wanted to show you how this perfectly fits into a 5x7 envelope. It's hanging up on that brown strip, but just be careful when you put it in. It's not that big a deal. Or glue it down better than I did. And then you could mail it this way, the flat way, and then put instructions in there as to how to turn the card, how to work with it to make it interactive. And that way they can see that it is one sheet of paper, and that's kind of fun too. So that little upper piece of square that I put up there, I thought I went back around it with the yellow colored pencil and colored in the edges. You may not can see that, but I kind of wanted it to blend in more with the yellow over on the right hand side. Seemed a little, I don't know, that seemed to help anyway. And then I'm just showing how I would draw a vein. I would use a green pencil. And you could do anything with it. I'm writing hi, pretending, or love. You could leave it blank, you know, just the date if it was a special day. But there you go. There's when it's flat. When you push it and turn it, that makes it the impossible card. That makes it look as if, where did that centerpiece come from? Is it glued on? No, it's one piece of paper. Outside of the decorations, of course. So, way up close shot. This is just to give you some ideas, just to run with it. It is so much fun, and you can go from happy, fun, bright colors to dark colors, serious, whatever you want. It's a lot of fun to work with. So I'm going to bring in the card I made a few days ago just to show you the difference. Just to give you an idea of one more idea, I should say, and then I'll put it on this green, and you can see what it looks like with the green background. Not that that matters, it's just a contrasting look. So I really hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed. Sorry it's so long, and sorry my hair got in some of that. filming, but there will be some more pictures here. You can look at them, and at the very end of the video, I'll have some other videos you might like to see, and a subscribe button if you'd like. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. Bye-bye.